Morning, folks. It's a cold day here. Maybe not as cold as it could be. Got a few misfits hanging out in the misfit pen. We've got our first snow coming today. We don't know exactly how bad it's going to be yet. They're still not 100% sure. Anywhere from maybe just a dusting to 7 inches. So we're gonna get some water checked and make sure we're ready for a snowstorm. Howdy, horse. How you doing? You like the camera? Huh? Excuse me. I think someone might follow. Got a little bit of ice in the tanks, but not too bad. Sometimes we have to use an axe to bust it. There's nothing in this pen, but we'll go ahead and bust that up. That way, if we need to put something in there, they have water. Not a whole lot to run there, but we'll go ahead and run this water. Gotta hook it up. Morning, boys. How we doing, fellas? You got your own water there, don't you? I don't have a big tank here like I used to that I could watch you all drink. You're just awful friendly, apparently. Yeah. Oh, you want a selfie? No. On to water tank number 2. Hey guys, what's up? Moo. How you feeling there, XO1? We had to doctor you here last weekend. Looks like you're doing better. Time to get on the trusty steed here. Got this pitchfork to take with me. I'm gonna take the brake off and pull. So we do have some automatic waters. Most of them are in our little smaller pens, or kind of medium-sized pens, I guess I would say. This big group out here that you can kind of barely see at the barn, these are our bulls here, but those heifers, there's like, well over 100 of them. Might have a sickly one there I need to go check on. But these hydrants here are variable flow. You can kind of set them to run a little slower with that, so it doesn't just come gushing out of there. So that's how we kind of gauge our tanks, just kind of run them slow through the day. Sometimes we overflow them, but if you manage them and have time, they're usually not too bad. Doing all right, kiddo? Got a little limp to you? Not too bad. Maybe just a little stiff to this morning. We'll see how you eat. What's your number? 63. All right. Go up the weed bunk. Now get you fed in a little bit. There's our. This isn't actually heifers. This is a mixed group of steers and heifers. They haven't been sorted yet. These are our second bunches that got weaned. There's Dad loading up some ground hay to feed. Gonna get a little dusty this morning. The wind's in the wrong direction. Normally we don't get east winds, but we got one today. Came over to a different pasture here. Morning, girls. How we doing? Y'all staring at me for, huh? So there's some more that are scattered about over that direction up towards our hay feeders, but most of them are here in this corner. These are our bred heifers. Bred heifers mean that they are bred to have a calf, but they have not had a calf in their lifetime yet. So they were just babies here a couple years ago. They were born 2 years ago, and they're getting ready to have their babies here just shortly, starting beginning of February. They got about 3 months left or thereabouts. Some of them 4. We came over here to check their water, so that's what we're gonna go do. Water tank's full, running strong. So this here's kind of a unique water situation. It's actually a hydrant, but it's not well water and it's not rural water. It's actually coming out of this pond right here. So there are other people that do this, but we have a lot of things where we have a pipe that goes up, and this is gravity fed from our pond, and it runs continuously. Quite often it takes a while for it to get back full, so the heifers will drink it down at some point during the day here, and then it will fill back up overnight. And if it does overflow, it overflows through this overflow, hopefully, and not out the side of the tank. Sometimes it does, unfortunately, and then it'll drain away and continue to make running water for wildlife, and the cattle can still drink out of it just like they would out of any other slough. And it was a huge mud hole and a doggone mess, and we fixed it up. We put a bunch of big rock under it, and then this little rock over the top. You can kind of see some of the remnants of the big rock that we didn't get quite covered up there, and we made this a lot better. And this is actually an old car hood right here. The idea behind it is to try to block some of the north wind and keep the hydrant from freezing, because it does, if it gets super duper cold, it will freeze. We've had that problem before. But I'm gonna take it over here to show you something else we did real quick. So we fixed our crossing here too. This tube used to be completely covered with dirt, and over time it had got eroded out, and we had some really bad rains in 2019, and it took her all the way out. And it was really hard to get a four-wheeler across because of the pipe or the pond overflow there. It gets really wet through here as well. And of course, when that tank is running too, and it runs this way, and about the only spot you could cross was right up there. And even then that got kind of treacherous at times. And so we'd been several years without it. So we got this fixed so we could take a tractor or pickup across here if we needed to. So we're happy to have this one back. And if we ever needed to extend it a little bit, we've got a little more pipe there, and we just get a little more rock and fix it up. There's about a half-eaten bale of hay there. We got 2 more for them they're working on. So these bred heifers that are in this pasture here, we actually had to bring them home a little earlier than what we intended on, because they ran out of good water at their pasture. We didn't want them to go get stuck in a pond or something like that. And unfortunately, we didn't have water here at the time, and so we had to water them off this rural water. And we put this hydrant in right here, and this other one that you can see just behind the rock pile there. Put those in about 10 years ago, maybe 11 or 12 now, and we've been having to water them out of this, but since we can water them out of that now, we're good. But we had to build this little rock pad here because they made a real mess out of it. And while we had a little extra rock, we built one there too in case we needed to use that. This here is a bunch of our hay for the winter. It goes about 10, 12 rows farther north than what you can see there. I can probably walk this way a little bit. You can see it a little better. There we go. And this right here is mostly prairie hay, maybe a mixed one with a little brome, and the rest of that all up there's brome. I hauled I think almost all of it in here, if not all of it. And can't remember how many bales this year, but several hundred, we'll put it that way. And we've still got some other piles of hay. We try not to have it all in the same place. Fires do happen, and so that is something that we try to mitigate by having some different piles. You know, it could be lightning, wildfire, you name it, vandalism. And so we're always conscious of that and try to spread our risk out a little bit on that. I think the only hay fire we've had was a accidental one. Dad and I were burning some trash, and I was supposed to watch it, and I thought it was out. Apparently it wasn't, and ended up backing up through jumping our road and backing up through some dead grass and burning some really good prairie hay. That was in like 2009, I think it was. He wasn't real happy on that one with me. So things happen. I have made mistakes and will make more. Fortunately, the hay is insured, and they were able to buy some more that year, and I think we got through it all right. You guys can smell that. It smells good. I didn't see any bull that wasn't beaten.
Okay. I thought maybe he was just resting.
I need to go up there again. Possibly. So one of the things we got to do today to get ready for snow is put our silage blade back on that we also use for pushing snow. So if you guys weren't watching, we had our big tractor, which is right over there. It's plugged in, getting ready to go. Breakdown on us earlier this year. Had to put a new hydraulic pump on it, I believe, and we had to take this off with it, the tractor being dead, and we ended up having to move it from where it went dead at over to here, and that was quite an ordeal. I've got a little video of moving the blade, well, quite a bit actually. It didn't really turn out the best, not a lot of different angles, but I might put a couple clips of that in there, so if you see something with nice and sunny and green grass, that's what it is. We're gonna get these pieces of twine off of here that we put on to hold the hoses where they need to go and get that ready to go. So here's our 7140. She was pretty weathered when we bought her many years ago, but she hasn't got a lot worse because we've been keeping her inside. But we're when we bought her, it didn't have the blade, and we put the blade on it, and it was 2008 or 9, I think, and haven't seen her without the blade on her since. We've never had it off, so that's a little interesting sight. Remember, we had a really bad Christmas Eve blizzard that we had to do all the digging out on Christmas Day in 2009, and that tractor broke down on us then, had a big hydraulic leak. That sure wasn't fun that day. All right, we got the twine off, got the hoses stretched out, ready to drive over the top of, because that's how you put it on. So we should be good to go. We'll try to get her on here after a little bit. We're gonna check this old girl out here. See right there, we're at the full mark. Only have to pull the dipstick all the way out. I'm good on antifreeze. Now we're going to check the hydraulic oil here. This is what we had a lot of trouble with. Had to put a lot of hydraulic oil back in it. And I'm sure they had to completely drop it all and change it out, so we're going to make sure there's enough in here. I'd say we're very definitely good. It's kind of a weird one, no really marks, it's just got an indentation in the middle of it. So any of the rest of you on a 7140, are all dipsticks that hard to read? That one sure seems to be. Should be good to go. Block here is working. Let's unplug her. All right, we're gonna get in here and see if the old girl will fire it. I don't have any doubts about her, actually. Like nothing, like a butter. make sure this is easy, and we're gonna, tractor's run long enough now, should be good. We're gonna kill it. We're gonna clear the lines and make sure we can get things plugged in all right. Don't always have to do that, but it's usually easier to do that than not. We'll go ahead and clean these while they're on the ground. They don't look terrible. Shorter ones are the tilt here. And this one is the lift, which is the one we gotta have. This one is the bottom. Oh, that plugged in easy. Whew. There we go. Now, I cannot back up, or that would be a bad day for hoses. So we're gonna get in, start her up, and see what happens. Well, I can't get it to do anything. That's not good. We were having trouble with the whole hydraulic system. So I guess I'm hoping the shop checked to make sure that the hydraulic boxes worked before they sent it home to us. Because driving it's great, but if the hydraulics don't work, that isn't going to be very good at all. We got hydraulic oil. We'll try this other box here. No, that's not in. All right, take two. No dice. Hopefully third time's the charm. Dad stopped by to help. I forgot to turn the camera on. Whoops. We got her figured out this time though. Now we're gonna see if we can get these two ready for last hit. Had a failure. You're gonna have to redo it. Made it in. Yeah. 18th tries to charge. We'll find out. Alright, the blade is off the ground. It's a good sight to see. Well, I was hoping this would be a hey, it's completed video, good deal, but I'm having a lot of troubles. Can't get these stupid latches to latch in. Not quite sure what the deal is. You look in here and everything looks like it's seated where it's supposed to be. but they just don't want to quite pop up. There's a little, this little thing's supposed to click all the way to here, and I can get about halfway and won't go the rest of the way. So I'm gonna keep on messing with it, and then I'll give you guys a finished deal. I'm starting to get kind of upset and mad, so no more video. But it's nice to see it back on the tractor, at least, kind of. And we've got little clips there to safety hold them in. All right, I got smart just shortly after I put the camera down that time. So this handle, you're supposed to put and stick in these slots and get it to move. Well, it's not really in the best place for leverage and stuff, but even then, I don't think it was gonna go. So I already had a bottle jack out here, trying to hold it up to see with that a minute ago. And well, that's what worked. And then we didn't tear anything up, so we're gonna try that on the other side. Let you guys watch. First, I gotta release the pressure from the last one. Oop, step on it too much. Okay. Gotta make sure this is as far as it'll go with the handle. And it is. Why that's being such a pain in my rear, I don't know. All right, camera died, and I went and got another jack. See what people mean about cold weather in these GoPros. Haven't used them in a whole lot of cold weather, and it's not like it's super cold today. It's like right around freezing, but holy cow. I don't know why it didn't want to go. There we go. Oh, got it. We put a little kink in it, but we're all right. All right, we're gonna stow this handle in its rightful place. It's got a pin to hold it there, or it's supposed to. I want to go through that side. Huh. Uh-oh. There we go. I must have buggered it up a little bit. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing. Okay. Good there. I'm gonna get this other pin. Guessing this was our hook that was holding our spring on at the back. Voila! Success. Now you guys can see that in there, but the pin is fully extended. Now all we got to do is get these cords, or not cords, hoses, pulled up. All right, the beast is alive again. Well, folks, there she sits. Got her parked. She's ready to go if we get a big snow and need to plow some snow. We're talking like pretty decent possibility of that. Starting to flurry ever so slightly now. So we may need that tomorrow to be able to feed. If we get a lot of wind, the wind likes to drift our lane that we use to feed here with. Nice little view behind the house here. Always like that. So, well, Dad's got one more bunch to feed. I'm gonna get home to watch my kiddo. So my mother-in-law, who's watching him right now, can take off. Wife's at work today. And so we're gonna call this a wrap on this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. Appreciate some comments. Always like to interact with everybody. So until next time, thank you. There goes Dad to load for the bulls to feed them a second time. Remember to eat beef. Smacked a deer the other night. Not sure exactly how it happened, but I got a pretty good dent right here. A little crack in the headlight. Bumper's hanging a little low. Had to fix the grill guard. But other than that, she's doing pretty good. Glad nothing happened to my plate. I can always buy a new one though. I probably should get another one actually. See ya. Well, the snow has found us. Pretty big flakes coming down, but I've seen bigger. Just starting to stick. The big snowflakes found us. They just got bigger.